Hello friends, welcome to more Cinderella Phenomenon. I don't even have words for what transpired last time. My mom is back. Like, what? I am so excited to see what is going to happen next. Alright, let's get cracking. Chapter 8, Uprising. Oh guys, I am nervous. Okay. Ooh, and here we go, straight out of the gate with Hildeer. Ooh, she's beautiful but scary. I've got my coffee. I hope it gives me strength so that I can survive. April, I cannot do this. You are not trying hard enough. But It is almost as if you do not wish to complete your training. Ever since Mother came back, she has been teaching me to use my magic, but her methods are... Well, I cannot bring myself to agree with the way she teaches. But this is... a little bird, nothing more. The bird is still alive. It's been trying to escape the dome it's been trapped under this whole time. Your bleeding heart will be the end of us all, April. Do you feel such turmoil every time you have a meal? Do I need to remind you how many animals are killed on a daily basis just for your meals? But this is different. Why can't Mother see that? All you are doing is removing the air in the dome. This is a lesson about control. How else are we to tell when you are successful without such a barometer? Ugh, you are so... So you want me to literally suffocate a bird? There's no other way we can do this. Are you freaking kidding me? Mother raises her hand and without any apparent effort manipulates the air in the dome. Oh. Now you see how simple it is. I stare at the bird's lifeless body inside the dome. The sight of it brings back old memories. This happened before, and even then I was not able to save the bird's life. I still cannot save anything. April, it's not your fault. And because you hesitated, another bird must be brought in. How many birds will it take, April? I need you to focus, dearest heart. We will continue tomorrow and expect you to perform as expected. Do you understand? April. I nod my head numbly. Mother opens her arms and beckons me toward her. I reluctantly step toward her so that she can embrace me. There is no more warmth in her embrace. There is nothing. Mother strokes my hair. Before I found the gesture endearing and comforting, but now I feel cold. I do this because I love you, April. You understand, yes? The words I want to say are trapped in my throat. I can't. Oh no, she's gonna know though. But girl, look at this character development. Mother pulls back, a questioning look in her eyes. Say you love me, darling. Of course I love you. I do love her, but things are different now. I cannot deny who she is or what she can do. Mother sighs heavily before releasing me and turning around. Varg. Here he is, man of the hour. Ugh. The door opens and Varg steps inside immediately. He kneels before us. Okay, well, I'm kind of down for you kneeling, but okay, whatever. Your Majesty. Take my daughter back to her room. As you command. Varg rises and bows before going to hold open the door for me. Princess. Oh. Good night, Mother. I curtsy and follow Varg out of the throne room. Alright, well, let's have a sip of coffee for strength. Ever since Fritz disappeared the day I woke up, he has not returned. The hope that he would return and that Varg would be destroyed is slowly disappearing. Oh no! Every morning I wake and find Varg standing outside my door. I become more disheartened. I look at Varg's back as he walks in front of me. How am I supposed to bring Fritz back? Varg is only getting stronger each day. At this rate, Fritz will... Adiuva! Oh no. You know that will not work on me anymore, Princess. Fritz used to come when I said that. Okay, I'm not gonna make any... I'm gonna control myself. I'm not gonna make any dirty jokes, okay? Despite what that sounds like, I am making zero 0, I tell you, count them. Dirty jokes about that. Consciously, I'm making a conscious effort. Fritz used to come when I said that word, but I no longer see any signs that he hears me. Worried about your night? Let me tell you something that might lift your spirits then. Sorry guys, I had to. Oh my god, they handed it to me on a silver platter. He's not gone. What? He doesn't think he can afford to lose. He's not giving up control without a fight. Thought you might want to know. So, does that just mean Varg is getting stronger? Why are you telling me this? You haven't been yourself the past few days. Aw, are you worried about me? But why do you care? Ooh, look at this beautiful portrait of a beautiful man. Varg stops and turns to look at me. He is looking at me the same way Fritz always does, with gentle acceptance. I could almost believe I'm looking at Fritz and not Varg. I've been asking myself the same question. I know these feelings for you aren't my own, and yet... Feelings for me? I guess his emotions for you are too strong. It's rubbed off on me, and now I'm stuck caring about you too. You have a crush on me. You wanna kiss me. You wanna hug me. Varg's expression changes, a subtle sadness creeping into his eyes. Stupid. We both know who you'll choose when the time comes. What? Varg smiles, but it is devoid of any cheer. He turns around and continues walking without waiting for me. Hurry up, princess. The rest of our walk is silent. Oh my. The night is deep, dark, and gentle, but I cannot find peace or sleep in the all-consuming silence. It has been 2 weeks since Mother's return, and 2 weeks since I've been able to sleep through the night. Most of my days are spent at Mother's side. When we aren't patrolling on GL, she is teaching me how to use the Tenebrarum, readying me as her successor. Every day, it only becomes clearer to me that the kingdom is suffering. The people fear and hate us. It is even worse than it was before. It's worse! Oh God. Mother is cruel to everyone, even though I have yet to see them do anything wrong. Is this why Father hated her? Your Highness, I beg your forgiveness. My child was not watching where he was going. His child? The man's son had wandered out in front of us. The soldiers' horses would have crushed the child if the man hadn't pushed him out of the way. The stop on the road has caused a delay in our arrival back to the palace. Mother had been out visiting an old friend, a witch. Mother? There is a blinding flash of light as Mother draws a shape in the air. When the light clears, the man has disappeared from in front of us. He has collapsed against the wall of a nearby building. Mother threw him into the building? Let us continue. But Mother, that man isn't moving. I do not think he's breathing. Come along, April. Mother, why did you do that? The man, he... Are you questioning me, April? Mother's gaze is cold as steel, her eyes sharp as a blade. I flinch away from her. You have become soft. The world has changed you while I was sleeping. Do not worry, dearest heart. I will bring you back to what you were, I promise. No, not my character development. I've already lost it 4 times. Let me keep it. Let me keep it just this once. Oh, Mother smiled at me, the same smile she would always give me when I was a child. I used to be comforted by the sight of it, but now it terrifies me. And the king... I choke down the lump in my throat. He is gone. He speaks, he eats, but he is not here. If it were not clear in his actions, it is clear when I look into his eyes. He is right there, and yet I miss him. The frustration makes me restless. I stand up so that I can make my way toward the window and stare outside. I am being ridiculous. Why should I miss him when he has been nothing but neglectful? I have forgotten how he stopped caring about me when he invited his new family into the palace. He treasured them and his kingdom more than he ever loved me. He never valued me. And yet I would give anything to go back to how things had been. The weight on my shoulders and in my heart is overwhelming. The feeling only worsens when I turn my thoughts to another person. Fritz. With a sigh, I lean my forehead against the cold glass of the window. Varg said that Fritz is still fighting, so he must still be in there. How can I help him? Fritz? Who? Before I can turn, someone clamps a hand over my mouth. The rest of my words are muffled. Oh no. Oh no. Long time no see. Is it Delora? Oh, give it to me. Give it to me, my sassy witch queen. I mean, not a literal witch queen. We already have one of those. But, I meant like queen. Give it to me anyway. That voice. Jurian! That's right. Remain calm, princess. Oh, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? She slowly lowers her hand. I turn around and stare, surprised to see her here in my room. What are you doing here? She smiles, and some of the weight in my heart lifts. We're on a rescue mission. We? At that moment, a man sidesteps into the doorway, his footsteps cautious and soft. Garland? He does not turn completely, but cranes his neck to give me a soft smile. Glad to see you're safe, princess. Oh, I love these two so much. I'm so happy to see you both. I can barely believe that the two of them are standing here. It has been so long. We apologize for being late. We've been trying to get into the palace for the last few months, but a powerful shield has been keeping us from entering. Lady Parfait could easily destroy it, but it would have meant destroying the palace as well. The last thing we want is to cause panic among the people. Mithras and Varg are crafty. They have been watching over the palace like hawks, and it was difficult to speak with Prince Rod when he was being watched around the clock. We needed more time to make sure our rescue mission would not fail. Then how did you find a way inside? Lady Parfait managed to find a weak spot in the shield, but it's thin and only allows a few people into the palace at one time. Garland and I know this place better than anyone. That's why we're here to rescue you. Garland. Delora and Lady Parfait wanted to come, but the shield easily detects witches and fairies. But they're waiting for us at the Marchant, Princess. Was I meant to escape with Rod and Emmeline before? Of course you were. Yes, that was the only other plan we had, though it didn't go as expected when someone caught whiff of their plans and sent Varg out to kill them. So they tried to save me before and failed. Okay, either you're not supposed to be here, or why did you come for me? Okay, I feel like if you are not supposed to be here is right, it's right because I'm supposed to get them to leave and get to safety. Because I do not think they know what they are dealing with here with Hildir. Like a fully powered Tenebrarum bearer, I do not think they understand what they're getting themselves into. But why did you come for me might actually convince the princess that the people at the Marchant care about her, which I think she needs. So I think that's the one I'm going to pick. God help me if I'm wrong. They look at me, their expressions baffled. What? I cross my arms as I look at them. Why would you rescue someone you hate? Princess. Okay, well, it's right, so that's good. I was getting a little worried because she seemed very confrontational. Very confrontational. Of course we'd come for you. You're part of the Marchant after all. What? Jurian looks at me seriously. Let's go. Jurian heads toward the door but stops when she notices I am not following her. Coming, Princess? How can the Marchant take me back after everything I have said and done? How could the Marchant accept me back? Do they even want me to return? Of course they do. I only realize I had spoken aloud when Jurian answers me. Princess, we wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. We have to leave now. We are running out of time. I can think about this later. I nod and follow them out of my room. Okay. Jurian leads the way and I follow after her. Garland brings up the rear, his eyes alert as he constantly surveys our surroundings. The night around us is cold and still, but the quiet only makes me more anxious. Varg usually appears in a situation like this. Is he not here? And I feel so useless having to be rescued like this. Garland reaches out to place a hand on my shoulder. We're almost out. I nod, not trusting my own voice. Shh. Garland stands at attention as we continue slowly moving forward. Eventually, a figure moves to block our path. And what is this? Is it Varg? I cannot move. Jurian and Garland, however, already have their swords out. The deadly metal glitters in the gray glow of the moon. Mithros. And here I thought the fairy had given up. Mithros. Yeah, exactly, Jurian. Her voice is a low growl. It is so full of malice it makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. Let us pass. And if I did, where would you be taking the princess? Jurian's shoulders tense. Garland glares at Mithros from behind her. I could lie, but it would also be easier to just kill you. You're as bloodthirsty as ever. But unfortunately, I cannot allow your mischief to continue. Sir Mithros has just begun to raise his hand when Jurian darts forward, her sword gleaming as she raises it to slice at his arm. Sir Mithros howls, falling hard to the ground as he curls in on himself to cradle his injury. Go, quickly! The remaining quiet is all but shattered as we run away from Mithros. Though he is in pain, I can still hear his voice call out from behind us. Do not think this will be so easy, princess! I ignore him and keep running, not daring to look back. We've been running for a while now. My legs are beginning to go numb. Only a little longer, princess, and we'll be out. You're doing well. I can do no more than nod as I force myself to keep running. I am pathetic. I'm slowing them down so much. Oh, don't worry about it, though. That's not the point of you. You know, you're not a knight. You're not a warrior. You can't do it all, you know? Some people put points in charisma, some people put points in dexterity. You can't do it all. There, I can see the exit. Watch out. Oh no. Oh no! Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. We know. Oh no. Sorry guys. Oh my gosh, I was so shocked. Jurian falls back to evade the explosion and bumps into me in the process. Moments later, however, she is once again standing at the ready with her sword. Garland sets his hands firmly on my shoulders to help me regain my balance. What was that? A familiar face emerges from the smoke. Her expression cold. Mother. April. Mother. Exactly, April. Oh my god, I feel like I'm always calling what they're gonna say, which is usually just the name of the person said probably pretty annoyed. Or mad. Or maliciously. I didn't want to believe Mithros, but here you are. Princess, get back. Mother turns to face Jurian and Garland, her expression full of contempt. I remember you, Jurian Valente. And you as well, Garland Belrot. I thought I was rid of Alcaster's pests. Not pets, pests. We do not work for Sir Alcaster. No. You and your pet have changed allegiances, haven't you? Oh, well, here we go. Now it's pets. What? What did you call him? The smile on Mother's face is bright and cruel. It sends chills trailing down my spine. Is that not what he is? Mother casually waves a hand at Garland, who remains quiet. He follows you around like a lost puppy. Oh no. He is so desperate for a scrap of affection that he would do anything for you, regardless of his own pride. It is admirable how well he knows his commands. Stop it. Huh. Come, Garland. Sit, Garland. Good boy, Garland. Are you guys proud of me for not making a dirty joke there? Are you proud of me? Are you really proud of me? Shut up! Jurian, don't! But his words come too late. Jurian rushes forward, her body nothing but a blur, her teeth bared in savage hatred. Jurian is fast, but Mother is faster. She raises her hand and sends Jurian back with a terrible flash of light as Garland catches her. And you defend his honor as if he were some poor maiden. How pathetic. Garland's voice is soft as he steadies Jurian. Jurian, please. She's just trying to get a rise out of you. I know that. Jurian throws his hands off, a murderous look in her eyes as she glares at Mother. Mother remains in the same place, smiling that terrible smile of hers. She's amused by this, nothing more. Get the princess out of here, Garland. What are you saying? I am not leaving you here. Once she's safe, come back for me. Jurian finally turns to look at him, a soft smile on her face. Trust me, Lan. There's a long moment of silence as the two gaze at each other. Unspoken words pass between them, and eventually Garland caves. All right. Both of them tighten their grips on their swords. No! Are you done? Mother hasn't moved, but her presence in the small tunnel is overwhelming. Her magic smothers the very air. Jurian sinks into a stance, her body loose and poised, seemingly unperturbed. Ready when you are. Mother does not attack. Instead, she turns to face me with one graceful movement. April, stop this nonsense. This is not the time for games. Be a good girl and go back to your room. Oh, no. I already know what I'm picking. Okay, she's like the main antagonist of this game. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna reason with the main antagonist here in a tunnel where she's threatening my friends. I'm sorry. Like, I gotta stand my ground. She's gotta know that she doesn't have control over me. I'm not her puppet. Oh god, what if this is the wrong choice and I get someone hurt? Oh god. Dearest one. I stand resolute and take strength from Garland's steady presence behind me. What Mother is doing is wrong. What she wants isn't right and has never been right. What she's done to the king, what she's done to Anchiel. How am I meant to look at her the same way? My voice is quiet when I finally speak. No. What? I take a deep breath and look her in the eyes. No, I will not return to my room. Oh, this was the wrong choice, wasn't it? Shoot. Mother's expression is unexpectedly calm as she looks at me. My own daughter would choose these traitors and liars over me. Is my love so inconsequential to you? No, okay, it was right. Has she ever truly loved me? Yes, April, yes! You need to question her. Do not, just... Okay. Mother, if your love is what love is meant to be, I do not want it. So if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. Mother is not who I thought she was. When I look at her now, all I can see is what she truly is. Evil. Clearly, you have become corrupted during my absence. I suppose it must be the work of the infernal fairies. Never mind. Once I have destroyed each and every one of them, you will return to me, my daughter. She raises her hand, and light curls around her fingers. But before she can cast her spell, Jurian is at my mother's side. Jurian's sword glints as it slices through air and then through Mother's clothes. Oh my. Go! Oh my god. Princess, come on. But Jurian, if we leave her alone... Garland pulls me away from my mother, and Jurian, as their battle begins, I can hear the dull clatter of metal as we run, and can see the flashes of light even as we escape back the way we came. I wonder exactly how that works. Can her sword, like, deflect magic? Or is, like... Or does my mom have a sword? Flashes of metal. Garland. We've not gotten far when I force Garland to a stop. Garland! It is only when I grab his shoulder that he stops and turns to look at me. Princess? We cannot leave her there. Maybe I can convince Mother to let her go. Or maybe... Well, no, I made the right choice. You can't reason with her. You really think you can convince that witch? I can try. My job is to keep you safe. Mother has all the power of the Crystalline Tenebrarum at her disposal. I force myself to say it. Jurian will not last long. Garland, you have to know this too. Jurian must know as well. Garland's jaw hardens and he stares at me, not truly looking at me, but through me. Garland, please. We cannot let Jurian die. Not when we might be able to do something about it. Garland stares at the ground, his expression conflicted. I know he cares for her, and that is why he must go back for her. Garland closes his eyes briefly. When he opens them, I know he has made His decision. Oh my god, I'm nervous. When we return, the scene is very different. Blood spatters the tunnel walls. Jurian is on her knees, bent forward, her face away from us. Oh no. My mother is nowhere to be seen. Oh, did she leave Jurian? Jurian! Garland is suddenly in front of me, his mindlessly racing toward Jurian. Jurian! Jurian! All at once, she seems to come alive. She gasps out for breath and coughs. Oh, Garland, what are you doing here? I told you to... Her voice wavers as Garland crouches down in front of her. He folds himself around her and pulls her gently into his chest. His eyes are shut tight as he buries his face into her hair. Jurian chokes back a sob as she reaches up to hold him tightly. I exhale in relief. She's alive. Both of them are alive and safe. You idiot, I told you to get her out. The princess gave me permission to disobey an order. He lifts his head to smile back at me. She outranks you, Jurian. At least as far as titles are concerned. Garland slowly guides her to her feet. What happened? The queen disappeared and Jurian suddenly stops. We hear it at the same time, a terrible ripping sound, like the air itself is being torn. No, she's back. I see a slither of shadows, an unnatural light in the darkness, and suddenly I realize what is happening. My panicking mind is only able to process everything that happens in slow motion. Mother appears behind Jurian, poised to strike. I see the horror in Garland's eyes, then acceptance and determination. I try to cry out a warning, anything, but I can barely breathe. Garland pushes Jurian toward me and out of the way as he rushes my mother. At the same time Garland pushes forward, Mother holds out her hand. It takes only a single heartbeat for her to plunge it into Garland's chest. Garland! What a loyal pet, giving your life for hers. Garland's face crumples in on itself. Even from where I am, I can hear Mother twist her hand inside of him. And how sad. Mother wrenches her bloodied hand out, and Garland falls to the ground. You fool. You didn't even tell her that you loved her. You! Jurian runs at my mother, a desperate cry of grief and rage escaping from her. Jurian, no! She's too weak from her own injuries. She can barely hold up her sword. I am unable to speak or move as Jurian rushes toward her own death. But Mother simply sidesteps, her expression disinterested as Jurian falls to her knees. I was kind enough to kill him slowly for you, so you could say your goodbyes. Mother turns to face me. The blood drips from her hand down to her dress, where it congeals and oozes like black tar. Do you understand now, dearest one? This is what you have made me do. This is what I must do now to all those who have corrupted you. You were the one who forced my hand. Do not forget that. Oh no. For a moment, the air in the tunnel disappears, and a terrible silence fills the darkness. By the time the air comes rushing back into my starved lungs, Mother is gone. The tunnel is empty. Lights flicker in the aftermath of her disappearance. The only thing I can hear apart from the rushing of blood in my ears is Jurian sobs. Garland. Garland, no. I make my way slowly toward her. It is like wading slowly through murky water. Jurian is leaning over Garland and he has his head in her lap. He's still breathing. Maybe we can still get help. Parfait. Parfait can help him. When I crouch down, I can see the open wound Mother left behind. I swallow down the bile that rises in my throat, along with any of my words of comfort. Magic cannot fix this. Garland, please. I get down on my knees beside Jurian. This is my fault. Don't cry. Garland! He smiles at her. It is a genuine smile that breaks my heart. Jurian shakes her head. No, Garland, you can't. Jurian, I love. His voice trails off as he closes his eyes, his breathing becoming more labored. He gasps one last time before his body stills completely. Garland? Garland! I bite down on my tongue and bow my head as Jurian howls her loss into the silence of the blood-soaked tunnel. We spend some time with Garland in the tunnel. Jurian shakes with silent sobs as she grips his still body. But eventually Jurian gently removes Garland from her lap as she stands up. She takes his sword as she presses her hand to his face one last time. Then she turns and walks away from Garland's body with his sword clutched tightly in one hand. She grips her sword in the other. Oh. It takes all that I have to keep up with her. Jurian. Jurian, this is all my... Not now. Her voice is quiet and all the more disturbing for it. This is all my fault.
April! Jurian!
Waltz? What is he doing here? Waltz comes running up to us, his eyebrows creased with worry.
I've been waiting so long, I was about to...
He pauses, his eyes flickering to the swords in Jurian's hands.
Why do you have Garland's sword?
Waltz's face pales.
Where is he?
Gone. Oh.
What?
Garland is gone. Her hands tighten on the sword she holds. For a few moments, her shoulders slouch, but then she turns away abruptly and continues walking. This is so hard to read, considering what we just experienced in Karma's path. Let's go. Waltz turns to me.
They said it was going to be a simple in and out, so I let them go alone. What happened in there?
What do I say? Well, I know what the princess wants to say. She said it over and over. I think that's probably the game telegraphing what I'm supposed to pick. Although I want to pick this one. I don't want her to say it's her fault, but I think she has to get it out of her system. It was my fault.
Princess, I'm sure that's not true.
I glare at Waltz as tears well in my eyes. It was my fault. Waltz falls silent as he studies my face. Then he sighs before taking my hand.
We'll sort this out at the margin. Come on.
Oh, it looks like that was the wrong choice. As soon as the marching doors close behind us, Jurian collapses. Jurian! Luckily, I'm close enough to catch one of her arms, and Waltz is fast enough to catch the other.
Move her to the chair.
Together, we manage to guide Jurian to the chair. We set her down on it as gently as we can. I watch as she unfolds on the chair, and that is when I see the dark red slashes and tears in her clothing. Some of her wounds are open and visibly bleeding. She's still bleeding. Waltz pulls a cloth from his back pocket and hands it to me.
Clean what you can. I'll get Lady Parfait and Rumple.
He runs off, leaving me alone with Jurian. It looks like she's bleeding everywhere. I steel myself and kneel by her side. Gently, I reach out and begin to wipe at the worst of what I can see. Jurian moans and I flinch in sympathy. I'm sorry. I feel a lump rise in my throat. I convinced Garland to go back. If he hadn't, he wouldn't have... Jurian shifts slightly to put her hand on my cheek. Her touch is cool and gentle. Jurian? There's a softness in her gaze and an inexplicable kindness in the touch of her hand. After a moment, Jurian slowly nods and her eyes fall closed on a sigh. Wait, is she okay? Jurian! Jurian! Is she gone too? Waltz! She just closed her eyes. She's not speaking. She's not gonna die too, is she? Not if I have anything to say about it. Excuse me, princess. Rumple gently pushes me aside and I let him, hovering over his shoulder as he crouches to inspect Jurian. Well? Princess. Walt steps beside me and gently places his hand on my arm. What?
Rumple needs to work his magic now.
And?
So, why don't we get you something to drink,
I'm not gonna leave her.
Princess, please. We should let Rumple work.
I look back over my shoulder, watching how carefully Rumple attends to Jurian. Okay. Oh, man. Not Jurian, too. Walt's hand acts as my lifeline as he helps me into the tavern area. My legs become weaker with every step. Hi, stranger. Delora, I love you. Make me feel better. Say something sassy. Delora. Oh my god. I only realize I'm running to her after I barrel into her. I bury my face in her shoulder as I suppress a sob. Delora's arms come around me, holding me tight as whatever calm facade I was holding up comes apart at the seams. Waltz, would you please get those mugs?
Of course.
Delora leads me to one of the benches, one of her arms still around me so she can rub my back. Somehow, the simple gesture is helping me calm down. April, are you hurt? I shake my head. Thank goodness for that. I stay in her embrace until Waltz returns to place something on the table. How are we doing? I pull away reluctantly to rub at my eyes. I'm okay. Delora takes a mug and places it in my hand. Good. Now drink. I do not question and raise the mug to my mouth. Hot chocolate. Delora made this for me before. I take a few deep swallows of the hot, sweet liquid. Better? Yes. April, can you tell me what happened? Oh, wow. Okay. God, that was a long time. I'm good to know I made the right choice. I wonder how much of that would have been different if I'd made the wrong choice. Mother found us in the tunnels. Jurian told Garland to get me out. My throat tightens threatens to close, but I force the words out. Mother is so strong, and I thought Jurian might not survive. So I convinced Garland to go back, and that's when I stare down at my mug, my hands trembling. It's my fault. It's all my fault. If I hadn't convinced Garland to go back, Mother wouldn't have killed him. The silence in the tavern is deafening. Finish your hot chocolate, April. I obey without a word. Everyone is going to be so angry with me. It's my fault Garland is dead, and it's my fault Jurian is injured. Have you heard about your stepfamily? I know they're gone. Are they dead as well because of me? Hey, don't look like that. I'll have you know that I had to use a sleeping spell on Prince Rod and Princess Emmeline earlier. They heard about what Jurian and Garland were going to do tonight. I don't think I would have been able to stop them from coming along on the rescue mission otherwise. What? Oh, they love me! You got them out, Princess. Varg would have killed them if you hadn't stepped in. The Queen was already waiting at the end of the tunnel on the day the Prince and Princess escaped. Alcaster must have somehow gotten wind of the escape plan, which is why he had Varg try to eliminate them then and there. Security tightened more after that day. Oh, thank goodness. And we've been worrying about you ever since you left. Well, ever since you stormed out all those months ago. Delora's smile is sad as she reaches up to push my hair out of my face. None of this was your fault, April. If anything, it was mine. Mine and Parfai's for letting this happen. We tried to help you escape, but we couldn't break the shield around the palace for fear of putting everyone inside in danger. That is why we had to wait. We never thought we'd have to worry about Hildir being revived. And though we would have liked to save you outside of the palace. That's right, I was out of the palace more than a couple of times, once with Varg and another with Mother. We couldn't put the lives of others in danger when Hildir was right there. She would have killed the citizens. Even if I'd wanted to escape that day I was with Varg, he wouldn't have let me. I grip my now empty mug. Princess, I understand how you feel, and I know it's difficult, but frankly, we have bigger fish to fry. I think you realize now what kind of person Hildir is. I do. Then you know what we have to do. I know too well what it is we must do. In fact, I knew this was bound to happen sooner or later. Are we gonna kill my mom? I started this. I do not know if I can fix everything, but I do not know if I can save Anchiel. But no matter how long it might take, I must make things right. I finally look up at Delora and nod. We have to stop Mother. There we go. We have to. Oh my god. What a frickin' episode. Oh my goodness gracious. We lost Garland. We might still lose Jurian, but thank God we've got the princess out of the castle. Hopefully she knows what Hildir is now, which is a huge step forward for her in her character development. I'm so excited to see what happens next, but I'm nervous now. I don't think we've ever lost anyone this early before. I feel like every time someone's died, it's been in the last chapter. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm very disturbed, and I'm not happy about it. But we will just have to see what happens next. So, thank you for joining me. Feel free to follow me on the socials below. And let me know. Oh, I'm getting close to the end of this game. I think I only have one more path left. So let me know in the comments below if there's anything you'd like me to consider for my next game. Thank you guys so much again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.